Hi, and welcome. I'm Cher, the Shadow Walker, and today I'm taking a look at Northwest Territories and the Eastern Provinces over the past 24 hours from the 19th through to the 20th today, this morning, for cryptid sightings. And we're starting with New Brunswick. A Bigfoot sighting in Caledonia at 11:45 p.m. by two hikers standing near a rock face emitting a low frequency vocalization. That's what it was doing, and they reported it to the Facebook Cryptid group. Dogman in the Kingston Peninsula at 3:20 a.m. It was a truck driver, and they saw it crossing Route 845 on all fours. Then it stood upright and looked right at the vehicle, and they reported it to a private researchers team. Hellhounds in Miramichi in the outskirts. At 9:15 p.m., a local resident, one person, observed near the tree line glowing eyes and a sulfurous odor, and she reported it to the Hellhound Registry down there. A skinwalker in Bathurst at 1:10 p.m., three campers mimicking a human whistling from deep inside the woods, fast movement between the trees. And I found that on the local community thread. Spider humanoid, Octomo. At 2:50 a.m., one witness skittering across the roof of a detached garage, multiple spindly limbs. They reported it to the local sightings map. In Nova Scotia in the Cape Breton Highlands, a Bigfoot was spotted at 10:30 p.m. It was a solo hiker. A large dark figure observed moving uphill through a heavy brush. High-pitched whistle heard, and they reported it to the Atlantic Cryptid database. Please don't hike alone. Dogman in the Annapolis Valley, 2:15 a.m. Two local residents, sighting near a farm perimeter, creature was pacing the fence line, a soul reading intense paralyzing eye contact. And they reported it to the private Bigfoot search group, or Dogman group. Hellhound Truro Rural. At 11:50 p.m., one witness, massive black canine with pulsing red eyes seen near an old cemetery, vanished when the headlights hit it. And that was reported to the National Sighting Section. A skinwalker in Antigonish County at 1:40 a.m., three motorists, a figure resembling a deer but standing on two legs, moved with unnatural speed across the highway, and they reported it to the local community forum. Spider humanoid in the Dartmouth industrial area at 3:10 a.m. Security guards. So he reported it to the security log. And it said, seen scaling the warehouse wall, witness described too many joints in its limbs and a pale human-like face. In Prince Edward Island, a Bigfoot in Bonshaw Hills at 9:45 p.m. Two people, heavy tree snapping and vocalizations. Witnesses report a sudden intense mind speak, warning, vacate. And they reported it to the crypto tracker. A dogman in the Greenwich Dunes at 2:10 a.m., and it was one person, observed it crouched near the boardwalk. It stood up and was approximately 7 feet and emitted a low-frequency growl, and it was reported to a private researchers group. I like that area. Hellhound. In Kings County in the rural area at 11:30 p.m., one person reported a sole black canine with glowing eyes sitting in the center of a dirt road, vanished instantly upon the approach, and they reported it to the Hellhound Registry. Skinwalker in North Wiltshire at 12:45 a.m., four people observed a transitioning from canine to humanoid form, utilized auditory mimicking human laughter, and they reported it to the community map. And a spider humanoid in the Summerside Harbor area at 3:55 a.m., One person, a multi-limbed entity, observed scaling a shipping container with jerking mechanical movements, and they reported it to the digital scanner's log. We have a Bigfoot sighting in Newfoundland in the Grossmorn interior at 10:15 p.m. Two hikers, a large bipedal shadow moving along a ridge. Heavy wood knocking heard in sequence, and they've reported it to the Bigfoot Research as a Class B. A dog man in the Avalon Peninsula central area. At 1:40 a.m., a lone driver, a massive upright canine seen in a transmission tower, witness felt intense soul-reading sensation, reported it to a private research. I would really love to see some of these people who see dogman or hellhounds have a follow-up done and see what's happening a week later, a month later, and how their health is. Hellhound in the St. John's area, in the Signal Hill area. At 11:10 p.m., two witnesses, a black dog with red eyes seen near a cliff edge, vanished as witnesses approached, and they reported it to the local Cryptid Society. A skinwalker near Deer Lake, and that's a rural area, at 12:20 a.m., a group of three people, figure mimicking a distressed animal voice to lure the group towards the tree line, seen shifting from form, and they reported it to the community forum. And there was a spider humanoid in the Bonavista Peninsula at 3:30 a.m. One local person, a pale multi-jointed entity, observed scaling a rock outcrop near the lighthouse. It moved with mechanical speed, and they reported it to the digital scanner's log. In the Northwest Territories, in the Naini Valley, a Bigfoot was sighted at 10:45 p.m. by two rangers. Observed a large shaggy bipedal figure standing near a hot springs. Witnesses reported an unholy scream and immediate dread, and they reported it to the regional Nage log. Yes, the scream from my sighting of a Bigfoot sticks with me because I remember that scream. It vibrated the house. Bigfoot in Whitehorse in the Yukon at 9:15 p.m., one resident observed a translucent or shimmering large bipedal figure that appeared to vanish mid-stride near the tree line, and they reported it to the local research archive. A dog man in Yellowknife in the Della Road area at 2:30 a.m., a lone driver, a large muscular canine standing upright by a rock outcropping, eyes reflected silver rather than red, and they reported it to a private research group. Hellhound in the Kaloon Lake in the Yukon, and I hope I pronounced that properly. 11:55 p.m., two campers, a shadowy massive canine seen pacing the shoreline, vanished when a thermal camera was directed at it, and they reported it to the National Sightings section. Skinwalkers in Tuktoyaktuk, I'm so sorry, I never say that right, in the Northwest Territories. At 1:10 a.m., three locals reported a distorted wolf mimicking the sound of a crying infant to draw people out of their homes, and they reported it to the community watch. And a spider humanoid in Yellowknife in the Old Town district at 3:40 a.m., a night worker reported a multi-limbed entity seen moving rapidly down the side of a cliff toward the water. Jerky mechanical gait, and they reported it to the Digital Scanner Society. Thank you so much for watching, and please like, share, and subscribe. I really appreciate it, and it's free, and it helps me in the algorithms. Thank you so much, and enjoy your day.